All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert video. My name is John, and today I wanted to do my monthly update on what I've been doing in this game and how I go about making billions of silver every day. This is actually a common question that I get every month, and you guys can watch the last month's video update as well. It's kind of the same, but every month we obviously change up a few things like grind spots and ways of making silver and everything. So I kind of just wanted to cover all of this as if you were new to my channel and you've never seen another video before of mine. So I wanted to give you guys some tips of things you can do to make silver. Obviously, our profit is going to be a little bit different based on like your life skill mastery or just gear in general. But in case you've just been doing a few things like strictly grinding or strictly life skilling, maybe some of these tips I can give you guys as well will help you add some more silver into your daily rotation of playing this game. So, with that said, first thing we do every day is Imperial delivery. And this is something I would recommend all of you to do. And whether you're a beginner or not, this is something that I would recommend you start looking into as soon as possible. So, how does it work? Imperial delivery. You go over here. You hit the Imperial delivery button. You can actually do this in a lot of main city towns. I just do it in Heidel because I'm here. But the way it works is, so based on your cooking level, from like beginner, I guess apprentice, all the way to guru, you can turn in boxes, and basically it's just straight silver, non-taxed. How many can you turn in every day? It'll tell you right here. So how do you get this number? You take your contribution points divided by 2, and that's how many you could turn in every day. So I would actually start recommending to push your Imperial delivery up into Master and Guru, because that's where you get most of the profit. Obviously, Guru is better, but most of it's profit if you know what you're doing, and even if you buy it off the market as well. So anyway, I do Guru every day, and it's based off of your cooking mastery. So a few tips I can give to all of you guys to improve yours is put on some life skill gear. Doesn't matter how much you have, obviously more is better and more is profit, but some extra tips I can give you is obviously mastery gear, and this one is a lot more I guess cheaper to do. I mean, you're using it mostly for all life skills, but it just kind of adds a little bit of a bonus every time. So yeah, life skill crystals, and then whatever else you have. Mine's at Pry. I should probably push this up to Tet. I try to go for a pen attempt and it just yeet it all the way back down. So anyway, even if you buy it, so I did this earlier. I actually bought them just to see how much profit I can make. Usually I just make them my own, but for today. So right now they're kind of a little high, but still profit, even if you were to just buy it off the market. And I basically spent about 80 plus another 75, 150 mil. And we'll turn in hours, so we could turn in 222 a day. So I spent 150 mil. We made 256. It's basically like, let's just say 100 mil more or less in profit. And you should be doing this every day. What it does is it also gives you these Imperial seals, which you could turn into mono stuff or just more cooking if you enjoy doing that yourself. So that's one thing you can do as well. And yeah, that's just a little bit of profit you could do. It takes about 5 minutes in total to turn all the boxes into everything. And yeah, I think it's very simple. So that's one thing we do. The next thing we have been doing is Pit of Undying every day. So I believe to start it, like assuming you've never done it before, you go to the Pit of Undying. Well, actually, like you just type Pit of Undying or Pit of the Undying, and then this will appear, right? So what this will do is either bring you to a quest or take you to the arena itself. And what you do is basically you fight a few bosses. There's like 4 of them. It's about maybe 10 minutes of your time every single day. And what it would do is basically you get a little insignia thing, right? Pry all the way to pen. And the higher tier you do, the more rewards you get. And I guess you get this insignia. It's a combat XP plus 30%. Is that really worth anything? No. Combat XP in this game is additive, not multiplicative. So like, if you stack a 500 scroll and another 200 scroll, that's not like multiplying, it's just 500 plus 200. So either way, 30%, not that much, whatever. But you're there for the rewards, and you get some items, and they're called Seal of Undyings. And depending on the difficulty you get more coins, and you turn them into like Cron Stones or anything else. I personally think the best thing to do is turn it into Cron Stones, unless there's anything in particular you need. I think item collection scrolls or loot scrolls are very good for newer players who don't feel like spending money on it. But if you are a veteran player, chances are you have hundreds of them. And yeah, Cron Stones are generally the way to go. So, with that said, what else do? We do a little bit of farming every day. And the reasoning why is it'll give you some byproducts. And whether you do any sort of life skilling like alchemy, or you just want to go for your tier 9, tier 10 horse at all, it'll give you items like these blush leaves. And you could turn them into contribution points, or like fodder for your tier 9s. I personally do the contribution XP because when we talked about Imperial delivery before, like more contribution points means more passive money, whether you put it on a node or you get more contribution points to do more boxes. And it's just like over time you make more silver. So that's what I do. But if you're going for your first like tier 9, tier 10 horse, you're going to need those stuff anyway. So it's definitely good to get your farming set up at some point. And yeah, so next thing we do, I guess I would say when I have some free time or I don't feel like grinding that day, I would always do some gathering or some sort of life skill to like do in the meantime. So one tip I would give to all of you guys is never let your energy fill up, because energy can be used in a lot of different ways, whether you're gathering or you're investing in nodes or you're just trying to make some silver. So generally, whatever you do, don't let your energy fill up. At worst comes to worst, if you're not playing the game, just dump your energy into a node that you think you'll grind at. So for me, for example, in the Ulakita area, I've dumped a lot of my energy into like the new Highlands area, and then you just put all your energy into there. So what does it do, actually? So if you go to your monster zone info, this is something that a lot of people don't know, and they also changed it, like I think probably sometime last year. It's, if you guys were ever wondering how to figure out which node to invest in for like item drop rate, you hover over this icon right here and it'll tell you where it is. So one of the most common ones that people have asked me, where is Histria and Akhman nodes? So basically you do Akhman, you hover over Encanto Coast, and Histria would be over Pilgrim Sanctum Obedience. And I'll just show you where it is right here, because I actually had my nodes invested in before they came out with the permanent thing where if you take out the node, you lose it. But basically, it's right here. This one's Histria, and I believe this one is somewhere. Oh yeah, over here is Akhman. Just in case you didn't know and you wanted to grind there. Good to know. So before, when I was doing gathering, it would take me about, I would say, an hour and 15, maybe an hour and a half to dump 550 energy, right? And then ever since the Land in the Morning Light came out and you did that quest to get the Green Thumb Gathering, basically it's like multi-procking. So like you use 10 energy, get 10 times the amount of gather rewards. It cut down my time life skilling from like an hour and a half to 45 minutes. So it felt good, actually. Like I have more time in my day to actually do something else. So yeah, that's one of those things. So definitely recommend doing a lot of gathering. I do think it's a beginner life skill as well that goes into other life skills. So for example, you gather materials. What do you do with them? You can cook the materials, you can make stuff with alchemy, or you process it. And so you turn basic materials into like higher tier materials, and you can either sell it or use it. And that's how people profit off life skills. But the market is very volatile, and so things change on a regular, so you kind of just have to figure that out. But either way, gathering and selling things to the market, always profitable. It's just how much do you enjoy doing what you're doing. The next thing I do that makes me honestly the most amount of silver is grinding. It's going to be the most silver for you guys as well. The reason why is because the game rewards risk. So if you grind over life skill, you'll make more money. Unless you are in the like top 1% of life skillers. Cooking makes a lot of money, but you just have to know what you're doing. But either way, if you're just like, you just want to do like an hour of casual stuff, just go grind somewhere. I have videos on the best places to grind for silver, how to invest in nodes and everything. I'll leave all those links in the description if you're curious. But yeah, grinding. So where have I been lately? I haven't really particularly been pushing 66 itself. I'm really close, like less than 10% away. But I've been grinding Crypt and the new area down here, the Highlands, because it's pretty decent silver. So if you guys have been watching my other videos, as you guys know, one of my next goals is a Pen Deboreka belt. One thing about this one is the belt doesn't really feel as good as going for the neck, because the Tet necklace is 34 AP and then Pen is 40, so it's +6, right? Tet is 21 and Pen is 24, so it's +3. And as we all know, Deborekas are very endgame items, and like these are like the things you don't go for until these are the last things you need to upgrade. But yeah, just going from 6 AP upgrade to 3, it doesn't feel as good. But either way, it's something I have to do. So I've been grinding. We have another Tet that we use as backup for enhancing. Whichever one goes to Pen, we'll use that one. But right now, we have to grind for more bases, and obviously we're saving Cronstones because you Cronstone every single way for Deboreka. But either way, yeah, that's about, if I do an hour or two of grinding, it's probably like, what, maybe 2-3 billion silver. That's a lot of it. And the other things we talked about, probably another like 500 or so every day. The next thing you should probably do, this isn't particularly a daily activity, more like a weekly, is do your Black Shrine bosses, or I guess boss Blitz as they call it. And they actually made a change recently where you can do all the bosses from town. You don't actually have to go to Land of the Morning Light anymore, which is a really good change. And so you could do all of these without having to travel to each boss. Wonderful change. And so it's definitely good to do them every week. Do I think the rewards are really worth it? No, I think they're pretty bad. So either way, I still do them in the chances of me hitting that Gearin crystal for like 2 bill a week. But either way, I just kind of like doing it for fun when I have free time. And here's what I would recommend. If you are a beginner, I would recommend doing at least Calamity 4 if you can. And then like moving up to like 7 and everything. So the reward tiers you can see over here. Ideally, what you want is 4 at minimum. But if you could do 5s and 6s, that's also good. Ideally, what you want a higher chance of is getting the like big crystals that are worth a lot, which you can see what you get from each reward. The difference between doing like a 6 and 7 is the drop rate is supposedly higher. I don't feel that at all when I do 7s. And then you just get like more mem frags or like whatever else they give you in each bundle every week. It's not much. I kind of wish that they would buff the rewards a little bit, but it is what it is. It's still fun to do. I think it's, you know, good practice on learning how to play either a new class or getting better at positioning, and you're learning your super armors and everything for your main class. So definitely something to work on once a week. And the next thing I do is RBF and Node Wars. Now I understand PvP is not for everyone. So like if you don't like doing it, it's fine. But if you do enjoy doing Node Wars, as long as you participate, you're going to be making silver, because as long as your guild meets a certain like KD, like 100 or something, unless they changed it, you get rewards whether your guild wins at the war or loses. So that's just free silver for maybe like an hour or two of, you know, PvP. And if you're not in a guild that does war, you can always do some RBF and could find it by doing red battlefield, or you could merc into another guild, that's not really the same because you don't get the rewards. But if you wanted PvP practice, it is what it is. So with that said, that's a little bit of that. And also, we have been changing up our nodes throughout this entire month because there's a lot of different things I've been doing. So I'll leave a link in the video description to that video where I talked about all my nodes and everything I've set up over the past month. So if you want to watch that, it's pretty informative. And yeah, so a lot of that is, I would say, probably around at least 3 bill a day. That's very casual. If I wanted to play 6 hours a day, I could probably make at least 10 bill a day. But for the sake of casual every day, at least 2 or 3 billion. So yeah, hopefully that was some tips for you guys. You probably won't make as much just doing I don't know, Imperial delivery if you don't have it. And obviously your grind spot varies based on where you are. So yeah, hopefully those are some interesting things for you. I heard hunting was good as well. So in case you guys have a hunting character down somewhere in Narcion, it's good to make those house furnishings because endgame players use those buffs that you put in your house. And yeah, it's pretty nice. So with that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Recently, we had a video on the recent update and a new outfit and everything. So if you want to check that out, should be a link somewhere on screen soon, or you can find it on the channel. But with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Would love to see you come back. I make videos for beginners, returning players, and people who are looking to get better at this game. So yeah, if that's one of you, or you're just trying to have any sort of progression questions, happy to answer them. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace.